Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host. Let's get into this. Before we get into the message, the creator told me to say this. No periodic table, no alien talk. You already know. Get in here. God told me to say that when you manifest with someone's energy, you have to return back whatever you stole, the rewards that came with it, as well as whatever comes with your energy, whatever you were successfully able to accrue as a result of stealing someone's energy. It doesn't matter what you manifested it for, what you got. It all has to go back to the person you manifested off of. Even if they're not intentionally doing anything about it, once they are aware that you used their energy, that you stole it, that starts to put the cracks in the illusions right there. All right. But this segment is about traveling mercies, okay? We always talk about ascensions, and since day one, we've been going over, just the different things that are required to be a successful person in the spiritual community of a higher vibration. Because, of course, some people, they have their own, intentions and whatnot. But if you are looking to raise the frequency in your immediate environment, as well as in the environment, your astral environment, because you have different families, right? You have different families. And this is kind of like a different topic, but it needs to be said in order for everything to make sense, okay? When you are born, you're born on a certain date, right? That date is considered wherever the sun is at the time of your birth. That is considered your sun sign, right? Wherever the moon is, that's your moon sign, and et cetera, et cetera. We don't have to go into it. That's the gist of it, right? You have family in the astral that is not physically here with you, and then some of them are. So if you're like a Pisces, all of the people that are Pisces are your family, and then you have the other counter of that planet, which would be Sagittarius, right? So if you're a Pisces, you would, in the astral realms, be connected and related to all Pisces and all Sagittarius. It doesn't matter what their frequency is, all right? And then you have your genetic family, of course, right? The people that bore you, the man and the woman that put their semen and their egg together to create you, right? Then you have your purpose family, the people that God created to pair up with you to get a particular frequency in order to get a particular job done, okay? And there's your soul family, and the people that are all a part of the higher consciousness. There's different families, but I'm saying this to say that we must ask for traveling mercies while we are asleep, while we are praying, while we are meditating, while we are manifesting, while we are just moving about. We are interacting with people, entities, frequencies from different dimensions, different timelines, right? As we begin to travel, there are tons of portals that have opened, that are open, that will open. And some of this is a result of what's already there, right? Like your astrological aspects, and then the shift that we are currently experiencing right now in the ethers. that is moving different dimensions and timelines closer to one another. And because your frequency is vibrating so high, you can get trapped in a portal, okay? So you have to make sure that you're asking the Creator to keep you on the correct timeline, in the correct dimension, right? Because remember, we talked about that. These are two different things, right? We have Earth, we have 1960s, we have 2009, and then we have 2050. Those are three timelines in one dimension. And someone can die and come back in all of those times, okay? When you are moving about, your traveling is not limited to your physical vessel. Your traveling is connected to everything that encompasses your spirit. So your shell is how you travel through this dimension, through this waking life. But your spirit, it travels in many ways. And of course, while you're asleep, while you're dreaming, that's like the main one. But prayer and manifestation, and of course, astro, planning, and, that's just a whole different topic. But that too, because that is traveling, that is your spirit moving about. So when you start going through these different levels of traveling, your frequency is connected to all of them, okay? So if you are not consciously aware of the different movements that you're making, right? And when I say movements, I mean the choices that you're making, the things that you are thinking, the clothes you're wearing, because remember, your clothes is also connected to a frequency. The food you're eating. Some people get trapped in hell. Some people go to sleep and they wake up connected to their lower selves after they've put so much work into vibrating out of that, simply because they didn't ask for traveling mercies. And at first I thought this was a message just for me, and I had to check in and make sure that this was for the podcast, because if you know me, you've been around me, then you know my sleep is crazy. I'm like wow with it, right? But when it comes to your vibration, if you have already mastered your ability to be, in multiple places at one time, this is one of the main ways to get yourself caught and trapped in these portals. These portals are connected to other timelines in other dimensions, okay? We do have portals that connect us to different timelines in this realm. But the thing is, time doesn't allow us to get so attached to what's here in this dimension, what we're physically experiencing. You can only experience the portals that you're not physically in. So, meaning if you're in a different dimension, let's just say there's an aspect of you or another version of you that is in Uranus, right? Whatever zodiac sign is, I don't know, is it Capricorn? I don't know. It's one of the, it's like Capricorn or Aquarius, like one of those two. But let's just say you are in the timeline, because remember, we have placements that are connected to these other planets, right? Those are other dimensions. Those are other planes, okay? So let's just say some aspect of you is in Uranus, and you have a close connection via the blood to someone who has a zodiac sign that is associated with that. Your energies can get intertwined with them, and this is how people start to lose their mind. This is how people lose their memory. This is how people start imagining things. This is how people see and hear things, Because if you don't call your energy back to you, you're going to have a problem. I'm telling you right now, especially if you are astro, planning, if you are colliding with other versions of yourself at the same time. Like, if you are here in Earth right now, and then you make contact with a version of you and, Mars, and then you make a contact with a version of yourself from your past life in this dimension. Those are 3 different versions of you, right? You're connected to all of them. If you don't align, and this is why being aligned is so important, because your spirit is going to know which portal to go into, after a certain amount of time and space has passed. But if you're not aligned, if you're not familiar with your higher self, if you are in denial about your purpose, if you are fighting against your protection, if you aren't fighting against what's designed to bring you down, like, these are all some of the ways to get sucked into a portal that you're not supposed to be in, right? So when you see people dressing like it's 1999 in 2024, they might be stuck in a portal. If you see them using words, their demeanor, their overall demeanor is attached to a different time period, they may be stuck. Now, if their physical age is aligned with that, that's something different, right? And some people are just old souls, but you'll know when you see them. If you have been given the gift of discernment, and if the Creator has given you those rose-colored glasses, then you'll be able to see. It's not going to be hard to put it together. Most times we definitely like to, ask, and this is why people ask for their spirits to be guarded and protected while they're sleeping, because we're constantly in motion. Even when we're asleep, your brain is not as active, but you're still, you're still in motion. Your spirit is definitely doing its own thing, right? Remember, we only need our physical vessels for this earthly dimension in this timeline that we're on. You don't even need your vessel for a different timeline, because you're not there yet, right? You only have enough energy to take up space, physical space, in your physical body for one timeline at a time. So I don't think we need to go into the different aspects of ourselves, because we're all different people in every other room. The same way we're different here, we're different in other rooms. But I think the gist of this topic is to really be aware of how active we really are when we are not physically awake, when we're not physically aware. I think even the sleepwalking thing could be another example, right? And before I go, I just wanted to make sure, we had this understanding. Don't be afraid to ask for traveling mercies. Whether you're out and about, whether you're about to go to sleep, whether you're about to, spy on someone in the physical. If you are astroplaning, if you are, traveling the astros, remember we've talked about people who have acquired enough energy in order to be in multiple places at a time, or they just have the ability to come in and out of certain dimensions, right? Totally plausible. Definitely worth praying for. All right. But I'm going to end it here. I do love y'all. I hope you have been drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea, because it's free. Love y'all. Peace.